Good afternoon. This is Dr. Morse, and this is tutorial number 33 out of the Berkeley Music Theory Book 1 book. Today we're going to talk about major versus minor intervals. Okay, so this is the third tutorial on the series of intervals, introducing you to intervals. So this is where it gets confusing. This is where we're building a pyramid. The first tutorial on intervals was the base. That's where we learned what a unison, a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh are. Okay. Then last time we learned that intervals, this is all based on a major scale. Intervals of a fourth are called perfect. Intervals of a fifth are called perfect. Intervals of an octave are called perfect, and intervals of a unison, aka the same note, are considered perfect. Then we also learned that intervals of a second are called major, intervals of a third are called major, intervals of a sixth are called major, and intervals on a seventh are called major. I'll say it again, that's based on a major scale. Okay. So the first thing we need to know, and then it will get totally confusing, is intervals a half step smaller than major are called minor. Okay, lowering the upper note by a half step will form a minor interval from a major one. Okay, here's where it gets confusing. Before we get into the really confusing part, I want you to understand that earlier in this course I referred to a whole step. A whole step is the same as that first one, a major second, C to E. The minor second is C to D flat, okay? And that is considered a minor second because it is smaller than major, okay? Not a unison, it is smaller than major. So I'm going to call this, out of just so we know, I'm consistent with these tutorials, I'm going to call this group 3, okay? Group 3 is, group 1 was our perfect intervals, group 2 is our major intervals, group 3 are going to be our minor intervals. So first of all, we're talking about seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths, okay, when we're talking about major. So the thing you need to know, and this is where it slips everybody up, they are not necessarily diatonic to the minor scale. I find that really confusing, okay? You're not going to see C to D flat in any form of minor scale, okay? You're going to see that in a mode, but you're not going to see that in a minor scale. That is confusing, okay? It is not necessarily part of the minor scale, okay? Not necessarily, it could be, but on the other hand, it could not be. So all you're going to do is condense that interval, and then you're going to make a major second into a minor second by adding a flat. You're going to make a major third into a minor third by adding a flat to the upper note. Same thing with a sixth, and same thing with a seventh. Okay, going down, you can make this, you can do the same thing by adding a natural to the second one, okay? So B flat and C becomes B natural and C, okay? That is the making a major second into a minor second, okay? So when you're doing your homework, okay, when you're doing your homework, make sure, I remember I put intervals there. So as far our arrows there that refer to the intervals, okay? Up or down. You have to be able to do it both ways. In the ear training portion, we are going to listen to these, okay? You get this some in piano class, but you're going to get it a lot more in theory class. So to sum up, to make a major interval, that's a second, third, a sixth, or a seventh, into minor, you are going to condense it, okay? And there's two ways of doing that. You can lower the top note, or you can lower or raise the upper note. Okay, there's two ways of doing that. That is the same procedure. Okay, this has been Dr. Morse. Oh, one more thing before I sign off. Remember, minor intervals don't necessarily mean that they're in the minor scale together or any form of minor, okay? Just so you know. This has been Dr. Morris signing off on tutorial number 30 something. I think it's 33, so bye.